Hello everyone, which way? I'm Rodney, and today, I am talking with my mate Mark, about the Indigenous voice to Parliament. How are you, Mark, on this beautiful Yidinji day?
I'm feeling really good, thanks Rodney. I tell you Rodney, it seems to me that the co-design process has landed us in the best of all possible worlds at this point in time.
If you don't mind me asking, who's us that you were referring to?
No, that is not a problem. When I said us, I was referring to all Australians. Yes, this is a really great place for all Australians to be, and that includes the Indigenous Australians. You know Rodney, there are recommendations that the government should note the overwhelming support for shielding the Indigenous voice through the Constitution.
Why would that be a really great place to be?
Look, there is a really great article, Door is Open for a Vote on the Voice, on this very subject, by Paige Taylor. Quote, "We have work proceeding immediately on the local and regional voices to give Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians input into not only federal policy, but also state and local policy making in the federal sphere that would include advice to Parliament and to the government of the day." Unquote.
According to what you were saying, this voice is for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians. Would this not be racist?
Understand, this is for Australians who have an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander heritage. Quote, "The single strongest theme running through the report and associated commentary is the imperative of respecting what Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians have asked for, which is a body protected through its inclusion in the Constitution." Unquote. That report was from the Referendum Council.
What will all this achieve?
Well, on that point it is said, quote, "We all want the same thing, for the voices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians to be heard and respected." Unquote.
Will their voice not be better heard through a treaty in which the Minister for Foreign Affairs of the pre-colonial Indigenous nation voiced the concerns of that nation directly to the Australian Minister for Foreign Affairs, or other minister appointed, for the bilateral dialogue between the coexisting sovereignties?
Yes, it would be better, but the Commonwealth of Australia would have to consult and cooperate and act in good faith, but it would be far easier to give the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australians a toy telephone. All the Australians would have to do is to nod and shake their head at the right time and right place, and not take any notice of what was said. You would not want to give them any real authority, would you?
There would be no need for a treaty, as they are all Australians.
No treaty required. Now that would be great. The Australian government keeps complete control, and does not have to share any authority with the pre-colonial Indigenous nations. Prime Minister John Howard said in 2000 that a nation does not treaty with itself.
So, does it affect those who are not Indigenous Australians, but those who are in the correct standing and capacity as citizens of the pre-colonial Indigenous nations?
Of course not, but this is a really great distraction in keeping them away from their sovereignty, the sovereignty that coexists with the sovereignty of the Australian Crown.
Does this voice to Parliament settle the past and secure the future for the Commonwealth of Australia?
No, it does not. But if the members of the pre-colonial Indigenous nations are kept within the Commonwealth of Australia, there would be no need to do that. The only way to completely settle the past and secure the future is to treaty using the Yidinji model. The Yidinji way is the way, but Australia is trying its best to avoid it at all costs.